I'm Angela, and I'm the 4am Quilter, and today we're going to talk about sandwiching a quilt. Now, for all you new quilters out there, sandwiching means putting the bottom layer, which is the backing, the batting, which is the filler, and the quilt top together. That's called the quilt sandwich. So I'm in my kitchen, and my floor is very old. So let me explain that, okay? The previous owners didn't take good care of it, so as a result, it's damaged. It's discolored, it has stains in it that I've tried to get out, and I can't. So until I'm ready to remodel my kitchen, I'm not doing my floor until I remodel everything. So it's clean, it just doesn't look clean, okay? So let me just, don't be worried. It's clean, it just doesn't look clean. So first we're gonna do the bottom layer. Now, when you do the bottom layer, you're doing right side down. Now, my preferred choice in batting is Quilter's 80-20. Now, what does that mean? It means 80% cotton and 20% polyester, so that I'm getting the benefits of a natural fiber with a man-made fiber. So, it's breathable and has a smooth finish. You don't need to pre-soak this. There's only 2 to 3% estimated shrinkage. Now, some people pre-wash their batting. I don't, because I like the look after it's all put together of washing it and seeing that shrinkage, because the quilts, it gives it sort of an antique look. And I personally like that. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath from going up into the basement, which that should tell me something, right? Anyway, it tells you on the package to quilt up to 4 inches apart, okay? The batting package will do a recommendation. Does that mean it has to be exactly 4 inches apart? Not necessarily. I've done quilting less than that, and my quilts have stayed together just fine without anything, any distortion. Here's another one that I have. These are both the same. This, by the way, is by Fairfield. Okay, I like Fairfield's 80-20. This is Mountain Mist. Now, I don't normally buy Mountain Mist, but the one day I happened to be at the one store, they were going out of business. So they had a bunch of their quilt battings on sale. So I snatched them up. So this size is 81 inches by 96, which is somewhere around a large twin to a full size. Maybe a small queen, but that's a good size batting, and they were literally $10. So I think I bought up like 4 or 5 of them that day, and I've since used up the other ones. These are 100% cotton, which has a lovely, lovely drape. It really does. And the cotton is much more durable than it was in days gone by because of the advancements in production. So this one says you can quilt up to, 6 inches apart, okay? Hand or machine quilt up to 6 inches apart, okay? And this is 81 by 96. This one, which is the same as this one, is 81 by 96. And this one is 81 by 96. Okay, so now here's my issue. I want to layer 3 of them together, and for the life of me, I can't find my quilt pins. They're around here somewhere. I haven't been able to find my quilting safety pins for over a month now. I misplaced them, and I keep them in a little square tin, and I've had this tin for 24 years, and I've had those safety pins for 24 years. And the reason being is they're made of a higher quality metal. They are smaller than these. See this? They're smaller than this. And they have a curve in them, so that when you put the pin in, the safety pin doesn't lay flat, which means it won't leave a ridge in the fabric. It has a curve to it. so that the safety pin doesn't leave a ridge in your fabric. It also, that curve makes it easier to pin your quilt together, okay? So for the time being, I have to use these, which these are strong enough, but they're bigger than what I like. There, they're bigger than what I prefer, and they do not have a curve. Now, the safety pins that I bought are quilting safety pins. They're usually nickel plated. You can get them at any craft store. You're gonna pay more money for them because of the curve and because the metal is stronger. These are not the safety pins you buy at Dollar General or Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, okay? Those are cheap. They're not made well. They're gonna break, and they might end up rusting on your quilt. I mean, let's say the humidity's high and humidity builds up on that pin, it can end up rusting the pin, which can rust your fabric. The quilting safety pins I'm talking about, I bought at Joann Fabrics 24 years ago. I probably have an abundance of them, maybe 200 or more, and they've never rusted. I would say in the last 24 years, I've broken maybe 3, maybe. They're made very well. So you're gonna pay more money up front, but they're gonna last you forever, and you're gonna use them over and over and over again, okay? So with that being said, for all you new quilters out there, oh boy, here I am on the floor. I prefer painter's tape, but I can't find my painter's tape either. Hence, this spring and summer, I'm going to be really organizing this house. So regular old masking tape will do, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring this up as far as I can. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you. For all you new quilters out there, I prefer painter's tape, but all I have is masking tape. So masking tape will do. Okay. I'm going to bring this over just a bit. Okay. Bring that over more. There we go. That's better. There. Here is the batting. Now, I always forget which way this is folded. So this is the width, and these folds are the length. So when you unfold this, okay, be careful, because I have actually poked holes in my batting before because I wasn't careful. Just gently, gently. There we go. There. Now, I'm doing one half and then the other half, okay? Now I'm gonna have a lot extra, okay? Because my quilt is narrower than this batting, okay? And that's fine. There. So it's just a matter of, you know, let's get this smoothed out. And remember, I'm only doing the top half first. And then I'm doing the bottom half, okay? This is how you smooth. Take your nails and gently sometimes you get a little pucker here and there. That happens. Get it as smooth as possible. You're going to fold it in half lengthwise, right side's facing. So here's my edge right there. Okay, I'm gonna move it back just a hair. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna lift it like this. We're just gonna walk it. Okay? Just gonna walk it. All right? Okay, now, if you have a pucker that wants to stay in the middle, sort of keep it in the middle, and we can work around that when we quilt, okay? Now, I'm only doing this top half and maybe a little bit over that center, okay? And then I'm gonna lift up the tape and slide it down. Because I'm doing this in sections, I'm gonna start on the edge. And like I said, I normally don't use these big pins, but when you pin, oh boy, I don't like these pins. Oh my gosh. Where are my pins? Can't find them. Okay, when you pin, you want to pin all the way out to that edge, okay? Can you see me? Okay. Pin, safety pin. Now, when I'm done using my safety pins, I put them in my tin open. I do not close them all. That way they're ready for the next quilt, okay? I'm gonna put it in, come back out. Oh, I don't like these pins. And pin. You gotta pin all the way to that edge. If you don't, you're gonna get puckers. And how do I know that? Because I've made that mistake before. Okay? Okay, this is also called basting. When you're sandwiching your quilt together, you can hand stitch your basting with large basting stitches and a contrasting color thread. You can do that as well. I like the safety pin method because it's faster for me and it's easier for me. Okay? Oh, I can't wait till I can find my safety pins. Well, that's my goal this summer, is to get organized. And when I do, you know how that is. When you're not looking for something is when you find it. I'm only doing a few here and there just to get it together and off the floor so that I can get off my knees. And then once a basic amount of pins are in, I'll put it on my table and I will continue to put more pins in, okay? The reason why I do it that way is so that I'm not on my hands and knees for a very long period of time. So I put in just enough to hold it together, and then I put it on the tabletop, a table that I don't care if I scratch it, and I will finish putting the rest of the pins in, okay? The pin should be the width of your hand apart, okay, when I'm done. But like I said, for now, I'm just putting enough in to get it together so that I can get up off my floor, off my hands and knees. Does that make sense? I'm gonna trim this edge down here, okay? Now, how much should you trim on the outside edge? Okay, if you are having this done by a long arm quilter, you must speak with that long arm quilter and they will tell you how much excess they need all the way around 4 sides in order to do your quilt. If you are doing it yourself on your domestic machine, I usually leave about 4 to 5 inches, okay? But, like I said, if you're having a long arm quilter do it, talk with them and they will recommend how much they need as lead in order to get it mounted on their machine. It depends on their machine and their leads, which is their outside frame, okay? I usually do about 4 to 5 inches. That's sufficient. Sometimes I only do 2 to 3 because I'm doing it myself. Here's this. Now, this I don't keep. This I do. Okay, I keep this. You can make Christmas ornaments. You can put 2 of those together and make table runners. There's a lot you can do with this. Now, I'm going to fold this to the middle. Okay. Ooh. I wasn't hot before, I'm hot now. Oh boy. Okay, now this, I'm trimming straight down. Okay. This is a nice size piece right here. I could actually sew 2 parts together of batting and make 1 batting for another quilt. There's enough there. I'll have to do an episode where I show you how to do that, but that is an idea. Fold this back down. So the batting is smooth. There we go. There. And then fold this down. Okay, there we go. I should be doing this on a table, but decided to do it on the floor. Maybe I should be facing this direction. Is that better? This way you don't have to look at my dupa. Huh? That's better. That's better. Sometimes you get in the zone, ladies and gentlemen, when you're not paying attention. And that's where I'm at right now, just in the zone. Working on a quilt, enjoying myself. And all of a sudden I realize I'm being filmed. You don't need to see my dupa. So there it is. It's basically basted together. I have to do more. But I want to put in just enough to get it together. And then I continue basting it on a table so that my knees don't talk to me later. So everybody, tips on basting. You do not have to do it on a floor. You can do it on a table, but just like I did on the floor, you're going to do one section, pin it, and then move it down and do the other section. Just make sure everything is flat. And when you tape the bottom and the batting, you don't want it to be so taut that when you take the tape off, it shrinks up, because that's going to cause puckers as you quilt it, okay? You want it to just be flat. Nice and flat and smooth so there's no wrinkles, okay? So remember that when you tape it. Number 2, batting is a preference, okay? And as you learn to quilt, you'll learn which batting works well for the type of quilting that you do, okay? I do a lot of machine quilting. I very rarely hand quilt, mostly because I don't have the time. So as a result, I like the cotton poly. I like the poly because the fibers are longer. It adds that extra stability to the cotton, but the cotton is the way to go because it's all natural. It's breathable. It drapes beautiful. So I like the 80-20, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. I've been using Fairfield for a very long time. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, That's my preference. I also like Hobbs Heirloom, which is an 80/20. When I can get that on sale, I will buy it. Hobbs Heirloom 80/20 is fantastic, okay? I also use 100% cotton. If I can get it on sale, like I said, I got those other ones on sale. I do have some 100% polyesters downstairs in the basement. Why do I have 100% polyester? I don't like 100% polyester. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't drape as well. But when you get it like at the thrift store for, you know, $2.50 and it's, you know, a full-size quilt batting, hey, I'll put that in a picnic quilt. It's going to get thrown on the ground, you know. You cannot machine quilt with polyester. You're going to get bunches because the cotton does not stick. Cotton attracts it to itself, so it sticks well for machine quilting. Cotton and poly, 100% polyester, you're going to get bunches. So if you do decide to go with 100% polyester, please keep in mind it's wonderful for hand quilting. It's wonderful for tying, but not machine quilting, okay? I do have a couple in the basement. Like I said, I got them at the thrift store, a couple bucks. I'll throw that in a picnic quilt. It's going to go on the ground, serves its purpose, but I prefer 80/20. There's a lot of other options out there. I've never worked with bamboo. I've seen other quilters on other channels who have worked with bamboo. They absolutely love it. That has a great hand and drape. I haven't used it. I need to buy one or two and use it and see how I like it. So, with that being said, did you enjoy this? Press the like button, subscribe, and then you will see these quilt tops when they're done, as they're getting done. And I've got a couple more on the back burner. You've seen them before in my previous videos. I'm working on those too. So remember, like and subscribe. I'm Angela, the 4am Quilter, where I share, care, and create with you. Have a great day.